So I want to kind of give y'all a little. I had to go and I guess this is another digital journal or whatnot. Maybe an update. But remember, I said I want to start highlighting because there was this sandwich I got. I can't remember her name. I got to contact her and I'm going to do another review. I might eat it in the car. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to make it all the way to the house. So there was this cheesesteak that I had on my Instagram. And some of y'all saw it. A lot of people that's on my Instagram, they ain't connected to this right here, to this YouTube. But oh, hold on, it's my brother calling. No, that was my brother calling. He about to ship out to Puerto Rico. I told him, young brothers, let me tell you something. If y'all want a place to go where you ain't got to have a passport and you just want to get, you can see where the slave options was at and all that. And, because a lot of them, most in Puerto Ricans, they got African blood, right? So the Tayanos, they broke all that down. There's folks down there that some of them look like me, but a lot of them, they look like Indians. A lot of them, you know what I'm saying? And then you got some that, it's all different shapes and sizes. So I told her, I said, man, you might want to check out Puerto Rico. But anyway, I was talking about how there was this cheesesteak. There was this girl over south that she caters and she makes food. And I tried that cheesesteak. This is the best Philly cheesesteak I ever had in my damn life. It was called something kitchen. I can't remember her name, but I don't think she's on DoorDash no more. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's on DoorDash no more. So what I started to do was I put it up on the gram. So I want to start showcasing some of these black restaurants or black businesses. And I'm going to put up this Jamaican Caribbean cuisine, this real Jamaican food where they have, they got the accent. So they for real. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's kind of pulling up right now. It's a whole bunch of people. Right now, man, it's over here on Larpenteur and Hamlin. I think it is. Larpenteur and Hamlin. And it's good. You talk about some real good food. But anyway, I done did like damn near 6 or 7 stories. One of the stories I told y'all about how I could have got unalived over a CD. Another story, I forgot, I'm going to do the Universal story too. And I'm going to do the D-Building story where I made this song that was breaking down all the stuff that I experienced in a 5 to 8 year time frame. When I was out hustling over south. And how I kind of got into, it talked about, it might have been a conversation. It was all kind of stuff. So I was talking about my old school earlier. I was going to get some antifreeze. And I didn't know that during the summer you could just put water in there, antifreeze, and I was gonna put some windshield washer fluid. I was gonna get that, and my battery had just died. So, they said it's been expired. That battery, I got it in 2018. Man, everybody pulling up around this joint. Jamaican Caribbean cuisine, y'all. It's right by the AutoZone right here on Larpenteur. Y'all got to check that out. West Indian soul food is good too. But man, this place right here, this the truth. This the truth. So I'm gonna try to do at least 5 to 7 more stories, maybe. I'm gonna probably try to do 5 to 7 more stories. I'm gonna try to make them more technical because some of these stories, a lot of the story times, even though it's a part of the life, the things I've seen in the life that I lived, and some of the stuff I feel like I'm repeating over and over because there's different pieces that I may feel like I missed. So I'm gonna try to talk more on maybe the technical side of things that I was doing, just so people don't think I was just running around like Robin Hood, just trapping out a damn bando or something like that. That's not exactly, that ain't what what was really going on. It just so happened that I happened to be in some very, nefarious situations with some nefarious people a lot of the times. I just happened to, some of my friends, and people they introduced me to and stuff like that. Some of the stuff that I've been around some dangerous individuals in dangerous situations from time to time. And like I say, I think if I would have had my pops would have been around, that's why I'm so instrumental in making sure that my son, he don't even be around none of that type of shit. And it's not that I wasn't, this isn't a, it's not something that could have been it's something that could have been, I guess, totally preventable. But what I'm saying is I don't want him out. I don't want him doing no street hustling. I want him to have a skill set where he's not involved in anything that could potentially, because I could have gotten in trouble, or I could have gotten to a lot of different stuff. Now when I come to think about it, some of the stuff and the folks I was around, and some of them, it's some characters. I really, really wish I could get into detail with some of the stuff that I used to see coming up. I really wish I could go into real full scale detail with some of these things. I feel like I'm cheating y'all from the story. So I give you bits and pieces and stuff, and I don't want it to be like a gossipy ass little site where I'm just saying, well, man, I just heard this or whatever. There's things where, so I don't really want to, but like, I think, and here's another thing too, y'all. It wasn't that cool to work a 9-to-5 back then. It wasn't really cool to be a nerd and really be intelligent. I used to want to be an entomologist. Now, all my friends, they knew that I was smart, but it wasn't necessarily the cool thing to do. It wasn't. It wasn't cool to be smart back then. It was kind of like, if you wasn't hustling, and if you wasn't selling drugs, or if you wasn't banging, then it wasn't that cool. It's not that people made fun of you because you weren't doing it, but you just weren't. It wasn't cool. It wasn't really cool. You weren't the cool kid. It wasn't hip if you were just working McDonald's. And then, dudes is pulling up in Chevy Caprices and shit, and then you on the bus. Sometimes you just might get treated. You might get treated. And then now some people, for example, like there was guys where I inquired about certain things where I was kind of like, well, damn, man, I sure wish I had this kind of, and they was like, no, I'm not going to let you do it. You smart. I'm not letting you have it. There's been some people where I'd been around where they were like, no, DP. Nope. Do you remember now? I wasn't really going to speak on this situation, but I remember there was a story about Corrupt. Corrupt had bars. Corrupt's underrated. They don't give him the credit. And Daz had it too, but Daz had the production. He did all Suge Knight shit. He did all the Death Row beats and never got the credit he deserved. He did a lot of that stuff, a whole lot. But Corrupt, there was a story where Corrupt was talking about how Big U pulled him out the car because he was getting ready to go put in some work, and he was like, oh, nope, you can rap. You got talent. No, you getting out. And he let them other dudes go on in the car and stuff. He said, no, you can rap. So sometimes you might have people that might say, well, I don't think you should be doing this because you're smarter than that. You see what I'm saying? So there's been those kind of different times too where I've seen that. But now in this generation, if it's somebody that's a little older, a lot of times, like you got to think like you got a little dude 14, 15, 16, 17. Well, his OG might be 22, 23, 24, 25. He may not be telling them, hey man, don't do this. He might just say, yeah, crash out. It's irresponsible as hell. But you got some 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds that is smart. So, it all depends on who you kind of hang around or whatnot. But, when I be seeing like videos where they say, hey, what you think about the Kia boys and these dudes riding around? I seen a video the other day where, man, these little kids was riding around St. Paul and it was all, they ain't got no license. Who's they OGs? Who's they elders? Because OG, I guess, ain't cool no more. But who's their elders? Where's their parents? You know what I'm saying? Like, when we were younger, we weren't doing stuff like that. We weren't riding around in stolen cars. People were doing it, but I don't remember people being that dead. I mean, they going back into like, they making it feel like the 80s or something like that. I don't know. It's crazy. We knew how to at least try to get some money. That's what I will say. We figured out ways, like I figured out ways, okay, mixtapes. I didn't want to sell drugs, so I said, okay, what can I do where I'm not dependent on somebody, you know, to give me my daily bread? And I probably didn't do the right thing with my money, as most young black men don't when they getting fast money or getting money. They don't know what the hell they doing. Don't nobody talk to them about no 401k. Don't nobody talk to them about saving or whatever the case may be. You know, so it's just something that I decided to do, and I just did it. When I built my computer, I didn't really have a plan to make mixtapes. That wasn't the thing. I was just doing it because I seen other white dudes buying computers, and I felt like I couldn't get one, and I was interested in it. You see what I'm saying? So I was kind of doing that. So I'm gonna load this up, y'all, in a minute. This is super good. There we go. This is what you get at Jamaican Caribbean cuisine. Oh yeah. I told him I ain't wait till I get to the crib. I'm starting on these plantains ASAP.